Hello, my beautiful family. I hope you're all doing great today. It's a wonderful day once again. I thank you, every one of you, for tuning in and watching my uploads. Today's a great day. I mean, it really is. Not only it's a great day because the Lord has given us another beautiful day, but thanks to you guys, our family grew to over 600. I am so thankful for every one of you. I can never thank you enough. I love every one of you. You're amazing. Today I was wanting to tell y'all a story about, since we're on the things about addiction, I thought I'd give y'all a story about addiction. My dad, he was a good man. He was. But before he got saved, he was really a bad man. He worked in the coal mines. They shortchanged him working for these companies. He had to work under the table. The jobs wouldn't last long enough. They'd come in, rip the coal out, and take off, and he'd be right at the same place again, going from mine to mine, begging for a job. It was no way to live then. I mean, it was hard work. I mean, it was the only way, but it wasn't no good way because the work wasn't good. They really wasn't union. I mean, they was trying, and some of them was, but not all of it. So it was hard. So he drank all the time. I mean, it wasn't a day went by that he wasn't drunk. And it was me and my mom and my two sisters. And we know when he was coming home, we would. We lived at the top of a holler. And you could hear him 1 o'clock in the morning bringing that old, he had a 78 Chevrolet, and you could hear that thing coming up that holler humming. And Mom knew when he was drunk. She could hear it by the way he was driving. And she would take and hide us underneath the bed because she knew it was going to be trouble. She knew it was. She was scared to death. She knew he was going to come in drunk and run his mouth and beating on her, and she done everything to protect us. So we would hide underneath the bed and listen to it, and we could hear stuff crashing and busting, and my mom screaming and crying and begging, "Please stop." I mean, it's memories that won't ever go away. But finally, after a long time, my mom, she couldn't take it no more. She took us kids and left and went to my grandpa's. And she told him, said, "I won't be back." Said, "Until you never touch another drop of alcohol, I won't be back." So after a week or so, my dad came and said that he was going to go check himself in and get help. So my mom, she was happy about it. She was. So she told him, go get help. We'll be here waiting on you. Well, after about 3 or 4 days, people started telling her that they were seeing my dad out running around and everything. She's like, no, he's up getting dried out. He's getting help. And I say, okay. So my mom got fed up with it, so she went looking. Well, my dad's truck wasn't hard to find. I mean, it was canary yellow. It stood out. So he tried to hide it. He was up in the mountains. Him and another old boy at this ginseng spot had the truck up there trying to hide it out. My mom took us and we pulled up in those mountains, and my grandpa took us up there and we pulled up behind that truck. My mom got out. My dad was up in front of the truck. He tried to hide a bottle of liquor underneath the hood. Well, my mom seen it, boy. She went up there and popped that hood and grabbed that bottle and dumped it over top of him and said, "I'm done. I'm done." So that was it. We went back to my grandpa's, and it was probably about a month before my mom spoke to him again, and he told her, he said, "Please, I will get help. I promise you, I really will." My mom said, "The only way is if you let me take you there and walk you through the door and sign you in and tell them that you need help." And back then, if somebody took and signed you in, you couldn't get out unless they signed you out. So my dad knew he was stuck. So my mom took him up there, signed him in and everything. I mean, it was hard. I mean, it was. I mean, he was doing everything to try to get out of it, but he couldn't. My mom wasn't going to let him get out of it. So we took him in there. My mom took him in there and signed him in and everything, and come back out. And I remember mom. I mean, we had a little tiny beetle bug. I mean, and here we were all riding in a little tiny beetle bug car. And the funny thing was, we had a big Saint Bernard too. And here this big Saint Bernard tried to sit up front in between my mom and dad in that little beetle bug car. He always got his head stuck out the window, and he'd get stuck in the car. But yeah, that's another story though. But when about 2 weeks was up, he had a visit, and he wanted us to come and see him. So we went up to the place to go in and see him and everything. We went in. He was sitting at a table, and he was just sitting there with his head down, and there was this guy standing over him, and there was another patient there, and every couple of minutes the guy was reaching down in my dad's hair and picking stuff out, just nonstop, just reaching over, picking stuff out, and picking it out, picking out, picking out, picking out. And we didn't know what was going on, and my dad was just sitting there. And went up to the table, and my mom said, "Well, how you doing?" He said, "Please, I'll do anything." He said, "Let me come home." He said, "This man's been picking my head for 2 weeks, eating the dandruff." He said, "I have learnt my lesson. God has showed me the way." He said, "You let me come home." He said, "I promise you, I will never touch another drink." So about a day later, Mom gave in when signed him out. And believe it or not, my dad didn't. I mean, he snuck around once or twice and did. I ain't gonna say he didn't, but to get drunk and run around like he used to, he learned his lesson. He did. I don't know what that crazy guy was doing picking his head, but I thank God for him, because it scared him enough that it got him going straight and gave us a pretty good life before he passed away. So I just want to tell everybody a little bit of story, and I hope you're all doing okay. I miss talking with y'all in the groups and everything, but hopefully this is a good thing. We'll all be getting back together and talking and enjoying life, doing better things. But I love every one of y'all. Thank y'all so much. I'm going to be making some more stories. I'm actually going to tell another one tonight. It'll be a little bit longer. Probably about 9:30, 10 o'clock. So I hope y'all watch it. Just know that I love every one of you, and I appreciate everything y'all do. I love hearing from all of you, and I love reading your messages and answering them. You're all so wonderful. You really are. I love you, fam. Hope you have a great evening. Stay out of trouble. Don't get scammed.